Hey, good morning, everybody. Cheers. Coffee with a view never gets old. So, a lot of thoughts circulating through my head lately on some big plans that I'm making for some travels and some discovery trips of my own. Iloilo is the next spot. Nature escapes from Iloilo. Housing options, condo options obviously are there in Iloilo, but what about the housing options? Gated communities. A lot of guys want something bigger. A lot of guys want a nice low-rise type of living environment, not just a high-rise condo. I'm going to look at Guimaras Island on what that is like as far as a nature escape. And I want to clarify some things, guys. So the video that I made, I don't know if you saw it, basically said, if I ever leave Dumaguete, Iloilo is likely that spot that seems to make the most sense as a next chapter, next home base. The only reason that I had these thoughts to begin with of the possibility of leaving the Dumaguete area and going to a place like Iloilo was simply for practical reasons, for health reasons, during a time when my health was my priority. Like I wasn't feeling good. I didn't know how I was gonna even recover from it. I was thinking, is this going to be a recurring thing? And when you're thinking like that, adventure and nature and all the stuff that I love to do and love about this area, the rawness of it, the freedom, there's so many things to love about this area. When health gets in the way, you're not even thinking that anymore. You're thinking, what's practical? What puts me in the most optimized place to maintain health, focus on the really, really important things in life? And that's what led me to thinking, Iloilo. It checks a lot of those boxes for someone that doesn't want big city, but still wants access to health and possibly a place where you still have some access to nature and a good setup. I am not making any plans to move to Iloilo. Just to reiterate, I love this area. And for those of you guys that are trying to figure out a place to go, that video is definitely not meant to steer you away from here or anything like that. If anything, just gets you thinking about it, figuring out what your priorities are. If you are going to come to an area like this, it makes a whole lot of sense to create a lifestyle here that sort of insulates you from some of these concerns. So with me living here, it makes a whole lot of sense for me to buy a car. If I'm feeling the constant day-to-day ride on my scooter on this highway that you have to access if you live, let's say you live in Dowan or Bakong and you're just going into Dumaguete and up and down, you're just riding this chaotic road all the time. It's not that it's chaotic 24/7. There's just so many times where I'm on that road where there's close calls, crazy shit happening. And so yeah, getting a car, that alone is going to make a really big difference. And it's something that you should consider, right? If you're coming to this area. I love riding my motorbike. It's not that I want to give that up either. It's kind of like, I want both. It just depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing. The car might make sense for a lot of the daily stuff, and the motorbike might make sense for little day trips and motorbike adventures and things like that. So some exciting things to share with you guys with this trip that I'm planning to go back to the Iloilo area just to explore and add to my knowledge of the area to give myself really good perspective of the pros and the cons. If anything, guys, I'm going to make some interesting content to help you make your own decisions. Guimaras Island, I'm really excited to check out. I'm actually looking at some cars in the area. It's a bigger market up there in Bacolod and Iloilo. Way more options to buy a car compared to here in Dumaguete. So I'm lining up some cars to look at. So I'll make some videos talking about purchasing a car in the area. I'm also going to stop at some really amazing places along the way. I'm not going just straight there, guys. There's amazing stuff to check out. There's an island called Danjugan Island, and it's got a marine sanctuary. It's a place to stay overnight, do some snorkeling, a nature escape. I'm going to explore more of Sapalai. I went there for 2 nights last year, but there's way more to see there than I really had the opportunity to check out. So I'm excited to get back to that area as well, make some videos. For reference here on the map, guys, Dumaguete right here, Sapalai and Danjugan Island right up the coast over here. Bacolod at the top in Negros Occidental. This is Guimaras Island, which is very close, as you can see, to Iloilo. This is where I'm heading. And then when I get over to Iloilo, of course, do all my exploring in that area. I'm thinking I'll probably go up to Rojas City, check out that area. And then there's a group of islands up there called Islas de Gigantes. I might have butchered that. Looks freaking amazing, tropical, beautiful. And then back to Rojas City and then make my way across the coast all the way, checking out the different towns. Boracay is over there. Never been there. I'm going to check out Boracay. And then in that region also, I can't wait to go to this place, guys. Romblon Island. There's a ferry that takes you up there. I'm gonna spend a few days exploring that, the beautiful white sandy beaches, the sandbars. It looks incredible. It's been on my bucket list for a while. So there's tons to explore. It's gonna give you guys a really good heads up of what this area is like for living, for getaways, for vacations. I'm super, super psyched about it. And it doesn't end there, guys. This is what else is coming down the pipe. After all of that, and I come back to the Dumaguete area, I'm going to plan a trip going in the opposite direction over to Mindanao and make my way across, checking out incredible stuff through Mindanao. I'm going to drive all the way to Davao City. I got a buddy that lives there. I've been meaning to go there for a long time. So lots to check out. Bukidnon area, amazing mountains. People say it reminds them of New Zealand. Almost forgot to mention CDO, of course, Cagayan de Oro. I will be driving through there on my way to Davao, and I will be doing a deep dive video of that area as well because I'm very curious about it. There's a very high likelihood that I'm going to make my way back over to Surigao City and then take a ferry over to Dumaguete Island. I was there before, 3 nights, and I want to go back. I want to explore it even more. So tons of road tripping happening, and I'm planning on doing this with this car that I'm going to buy. It's going to be incredible, guys. And I will say this apartment that I'm renting for $16K, for you guys to think about if you like to do these kind of things and you want to travel but keep a home base. Of course, everyone's budget is different, but one of the benefits of getting this place, a place between 10K and 16K, which you can definitely find in the Dumaguete area. There's plenty of apartments in that price range. I can afford more than that, but by staying in a place that's well under 20K, it gives me that much more wiggle room to go and travel and stay in Airbnbs while maintaining my home base. And that's something for you guys to consider as well. Most people that I talk to end up saying when they're living out of their backpack and they don't have a permanent home base and they're just out wandering around and traveling, which I did for a long time, it starts to get tough after a while. And you often want to come back, regroup, have everything at your place, have a place you're comfortable with that's waiting for you. So this is my thinking. This is something that I've worked towards for quite a while. So having this place is perfect for me. $320 US per month is on average what I'm paying, including everything, electricity, internet, give or take right in that price range. So there you go, guys. These are the thoughts swirling through my head. There's some clarification of really where I'm at with all of this. I get so excited just talking about this stuff. And I know a lot of you love this kind of thing as well. The adventure, exploring, watching content to learn about different areas to help plan your trip, to help plan out where you might want to live. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. And again, back to the beginning, which was just getting inside my head and how I process things. And maybe you guys can relate to this. I know a lot of you cannot. A lot of you guys are thinking it's absolutely nuts how I think or operate, making a lot of changes and, can't make up my mind on where I want to live. I don't know, man. I'm just being me. And I think that life throws you curveballs sometimes. Things come up that make you think about different things and what makes more sense. I have sort of this free-flowing way about me, especially after quitting my job back in the US and coming over here and having so much freedom. I don't know if it's always a good thing, but I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing either. And I like to just be on top of things. I like to know what's out there, know what my options are, and be able to pivot if I have to at any particular time, if it makes sense. I don't regret any of the changes that I've made around the Philippines, the moving around that I've done. I think it's been good for me and my experiences and memories. I think it's been good for knowing about things and having knowledge that I can share on my channel for creating content. And I think by me continuing to think this way and going on these discovery trips, even though I do have a home base here in Dumaguete, and even if I'm thinking about a possibility of living in a place like Iloilo one day, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm certainly not making any rush decisions. And that's kind of the whole point of me going there, is so I don't have to make a rush decision. It's just going to learn more, experience more, have my cheap apartment here. I can come back. And if things start to evolve throughout the process and something comes of it, it is what it is. But I'll end with this, guys. Man, I love this area. I really love this area. And I have so much fun living in the Dumaguete region. I have so many days, more than anywhere else that I've been in the Philippines, that I can pile on one day after another of doing things that I love to do. I've met a lot of great people here. It's endless, the things that you can do, and have a nice balanced lifestyle here of some conveniences and having access to things that us Westerners like. It might take a little more time, but you can find good quality housing, There's plenty of good quality restaurants and a variety of food. I know a lot of Westerners, expats want things like that. Of course, as I've said many, many times and in this video as well, the nature is incredible. And a lot of people come to the Philippines to experience these kind of things and to have it at your fingertips. It's one thing to live in BGC and then plan your trip, go to the airport, fly somewhere in the Philippines, have a vacation, enjoy the Philippines nature. It's great, nothing wrong with that. But when you can have it so close to you and you can plan multiple little outings throughout your week to go get a little sample of some of this amazing nature that the Philippines has to offer without having to do much, without having to go far, that I think is what makes this area so phenomenal. But at the same time, it's raw. The infrastructure is not nearly as good as Iloilo or BGC. The healthcare is not as good. The accessibility to healthcare is not as good. As I mentioned, a lot of the highways and roads are just a little bit more chaotic, and that's just part of the Philippines experience if you live in a more provincial city. And these are things that you have to consider when you're choosing a place to live in the Philippines. You have to determine your priorities, guys. You're not going to get everything in one place. And that is part of the thinking that I've been going through over the last little while. I'm not looking to just whimsically uproot and leave all of this amazing stuff. And we'll just see how that goes. It's all part of the fun, and that's what makes the Philippines, I think, interesting, exciting, so much to explore, so many adventures to be had here. Before I let you go, let me just say this. There obviously is a lot of things to consider. There's so many places to consider for places to live, how to navigate the Philippines. Of course, not in this video, but I talk a lot about dating, relationships, and most guys come here with some of that in mind as well. If you're interested in any kind of one-on-one chit chat on the phone, on video, to gain more perspective, to help build out a plan for you coming here and doing any of these things at all, reach out to me on my email. We can discuss how I do that. And last thing that I wanted to mention is that I've launched a newsletter that I'm going to be putting out every once in a while. Not a typical newsletter. It's going to be basically untold stories of crazy adventures that I've had in the Philippines, details of videos that I didn't fully explain in the video, but I'm going in deeper on some of these things. That's the whole concept of this, just some storytelling and some interesting things that have happened to me in the Philippines. So you can sign up for that. It shows up in your email. It's free. We'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned, guys. Obviously, so many adventures coming, so much content coming for all this stuff that I am planning over the next little while. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.